always like to give credit to those who contributed to my understanding. And I have the people like Professor Lewis A. Laird and Mrs. Ruby Harris Gill and Dr. O. Anderson Fuller at Lincoln University. People like Jay McShann and Sun Ra. Teachers, even like my yoga teacher, Sri Narodi, and Brother John and Reverend O.W. Winkfield, people who helped me go beyond just playing music, but to thinking of what music means, and eventually coming to the realization that music is the root of culture, and that we live in a cultural flux. And so some of the work that I have done, although I did have a background in chemistry and science, the work that I have done and have built up over the last 33 years has been focused in unraveling the cultural mysteries of the past so that we could see a brighter path. Actually, melanin is at the seat of our musical differences because there are some differences in perception and response to music, and it's based primarily on the amount of melanin that we have in our cochlea and in our auditory canal. Also the amount of melanin that we have, that we produce in our diurnal rhythm from the paean. You can't separate really music from anything because in the old world, in the ancient world, many thousands of years ago, our ancient fathers, our ancestors knew that music was the primary mover of all thinking. Back in 1961, when I came into knowledge of how cultures operate and how they are born, I stumbled on the term Sanjitam, which means teaching people through the arts, a great that imprinted the cultural concepts on the community. And we have that now, like when Christmas comes around, you have all the Christmas music and you have all the pictures of Santa Claus and all of that, you know, in one sense. But we don't have anything like that for ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so the Afro Art Theater was somewhat a kind of an establishment that we opened in order to pull the arts of our people into a focal point. And it became a center so that it brought all of the people who were very good in these various forms, like the Spencer Jackson family in the gospel music, Darlene Blackburn, who introduced African dance to the Chicago audience. Now African dance gets a lot of play, you know. Mm-hmm. We had various people who came in the field of drama, like Okoro, Harold Johnson, and we had poets like Sister Gwendolyn Brooks. Obasi got they had their artists there to perform. But most of all, at that time, in 1967, we didn't have a place where we could go and glorify in our culture, mm-hmm. an establishment for mm-hmm. that. So On the Beach was a project of the summer of '67, where out on the 64th Street beach, we set up a whole cultural panorama dealing with the history and culture of our people. And the music was the centerpiece of it, and so many people attended that. I asked the people on the last day in August, would you like to do this year-round? And they said, yes. Brother Tony Courtney used to say that if you have a puzzle in a box and you got a picture on the box, the people will try to work the box according to, mm-hmm. you know, they'll try to work the puzzle. But if the wrong picture's on the box, you're in trouble. And that seemed to me to be a good analogy of how we keep using other models. And that's why I speak so often of the African mind. There never was a time we couldn't solve our problems, but we have to use the proper process. In Africa, throughout, they have the oral tradition, you know.
You learn your family's history first, because when you're a little baby, even when you're in the womb, you can hear that history being recited. See, and it's recited over and over at every gathering. And so the most important thing a person has to know is who they are and where they come from and what it means to be that. So that's what was cut off from the slave. He's nothing but a slave. And when you think back, that's all you can reach is a slave. The door is blocked beyond that. So the history is all wrong. The history of science is wrong. The history of agriculture is wrong. The history of mathematics is wrong. The history of astronomy is wrong. The history, period, is wrong, because they lied in the 15, 16, 1700s to make a white superiority group in Europe. They give all the credit. You pick up on any science and all they mention are the Europeans. I'll play another piece, and Alex, since I was talking about the modes, is that I'm playing forms, and these forms are cosmic forms. And so if you listen, you'll hear dual forms going on. I like that most. I believe that my ancestors, whoever I was at one time, really enjoy listening to two things simultaneously. And so I play a music that's two-sided. Sometimes it gets three-sided. You can see separate things going on while I'm playing. And I wanted to explain that. That's cosmic music.